For this global connectivity video, the tech team wanted to showcase some of the excellent data visualizations produced by project teams in the past TRP. Data visualizations are usually the most effective and compelling way to communicate an idea or a result to our clients. So while the vast majority of running a survey or an evaluation is non-visual in nature, all of that time and effort culminates into a single graph that has the power to change minds and influence high-stakes program decisions. And so the following is a relatively small but impressive sample of our organization's work in the past TRP.
For Nano Project in Zambia, our team is developing a monitoring system that produces data on relevant indicators from a representative sample of households that our traditional leaders can use to inform policies and target resources. One of the main challenges in this project was lack of up-to-date, reliable list of households that can be used as a sampling frame. To circumvent the problem, we employed geographic sampling as depicted here. First, a satellite picture of the chiefdom is split into 500 by 500 meter squares. Second, we overlay this picture with datasets from Facebook that use machine learning to identify buildings and a dataset on structures from OpenStreetMaps. This allows us to exclude areas that have no buildings at all, the green squares, and sample only from areas that have buildings, colored and beige squares. The colored squares represent sampled areas, and the beige squared represent eligible but unsampled areas. This sampling approach better ensures against systematic exclusion of remote households, as well as allows us to track activities of enumerators remotely.
I really like this graph from the analysis of a large-scale survey we did in India of their flagship nutrition program delivered through social and behavior change communication messaging. This is one of many visualizations created by Nitya, Anuruddha, and I. Through this program, messages about health and nutrition for pregnant women and recent mothers were delivered through 21 different platforms, which can be grouped into 3 broad types: digital media, such as Facebook, WhatsApp, and TV, mid-media, such as audiovisual vans and posters, as well as community-based events organized by community health workers. In this graph, we show exposure to any platform within each of the 3 broad types of platforms by socioeconomic quintiles. I think this graph tells an interesting and visual story. Whereas platform exposure for mid and digital media increases with income across the quintiles, since these are platforms that require technology access, literacy, etc., community engagement and interpersonal counseling can be seen as a great equalizer. The proportion of women who have attended a community event or have interacted with a community health worker is consistently 80% and up, suggesting this is the platform type capable of reaching the most poor women. And this finding has implications for the targeting and social behavior change campaign strategy going forward.
This shows a graphical representation of 4 impact evaluation regression results from an orange flesh sweet potato project that took place in Uganda and Tanzania. Each pair of bars shows a different regression, and the way to interpret it is that the gray bar shows the control mean, while the blue bar shows the control mean plus the treatment effect. The error bars on treatment are the 95% confidence interval of our estimate of the treatment effect. I like showing regression results this way because you can very clearly read off the treatment effect and whether or not these effects are significant. If the error bar passes the control mean, that means that your regressions are not significant. If the error bars don't touch the control mean, they are significant at the 95% level. Sometimes people question why there are no error bars on the control mean, and the answer is that we're not trying to compare control mean to treatment means here. We're instead just trying to very clearly show the treatment effect.
One of my favorite visualizations from the last TRP was created by Becca Beer for the inline report of a quasi-experimental impact evaluation of an education program. At the beginning of the evaluation, students in the treatment program were matched with comparison students who attended other programs but had very similar baseline test scores and demographics. At the end of the evaluation, we found that treatment students were performing significantly better than comparison students on a battery of academic tests. In this graph, I like how Becca presents the results of the various tests in a compact way that highlights the average treatment effects corresponding to each outcome, as well as the means and standard errors for each test for treatment and comparison students.